Hey there everyone, Cortney here from How to Loom Your Dragon. Welcome to my tutorial for Queen Scarlet from the Wings of Fire series. Now first of all, you can probably hear that noise in the background. That is my air conditioner because I am filming in my attic and it's the middle of summer. So I apologize for that background noise, but we're going to have to deal with it because if that's not on, then I'm pretty much going to pass out. Alright, so that's what that sound is in the background. This version of Queen Scarlet is going to be the version where she has a burnt face. Okay, you can always change it to make it so she does not have a burnt face. Alright, by using the regular body color instead of the brown color that we will be using for that part. And I'll explain that a little more as we get there. Okay, check the description for the band count. As far as looms you need, you need one loom for everything but the wings. The wings, I use 2 looms because you're going to be following Peril's wing tutorial for that portion. But if you don't have 2 looms, you can always make the smaller wings with the single loom and just use those instead. However, SkyWings tend to have larger wings, so that is why I'm going to be doing large wings with mine. Okay, alright, so in this portion of the video, we will hopefully get through the head and neck, as well as the legs, and then I'm going to direct you to the wing tutorial. Alright, and then you will go to part 2 and we will continue with this tutorial. Okay, so we're going to start with Queen Scarlet's head. Okay, so just bear with me. Right, so I'm using several different types of oranges, mostly the jelly orange, though I am going to be using the opaque orange as well. Okay. So starting with the head, what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 oranges at a time down the center. Okay. If I fail to say how many bands to put on the loom at a time, assume it's 2. Okay. It's almost always 2 unless it's double looped. Alright, so I went down 8 times with the opaque orange. Okay, now I'm going to do the burnt side of her head, of her face. Okay, now keep in mind that my camera mirrors the image. Okay, so what I'm actually doing is I'm adding onto the left side. To me, this is the left. Okay, but in the video it's going to look like the right side to you because my camera mirrors everything I do. So according to the book, her burnt area on her face is on the right side of her face. Her right. Okay? So that would be this side here. But for you, it would be this side. Okay? So as I put the brown bands here, you can put them on this side. Okay? Because that's actually the correct side. Alright, so we're taking 2 at a time. Notice I didn't start at the first peg up there, I started at the second one. Oops. 2. Okay. Now I'm going to double loop 1 brown. Oh, and by the way, I'm using the cocoa brown here. I suggest using a different brown or a different color than what you use on other parts of her, because on other parts I use burgundy, which is a little different. So if you want this to look like a burnt area of her face, use a different color brown than you've been using for the rest, or that you plan to use for the rest of her body, if that makes any sense. Hopefully it does. Alright, I'm going to use the jelly orange now, double looping one of those to there, and one more to the center there. Alright, so now I'm going to do jelly orange on the opposite side. So pretty much just what I just did with the brown side, but I'm doing the jelly orange on this side. If you don't want to make a burnt face on her, just do the jelly orange on both sides. And just, do jelly orange instead of brown. Double looped here. Double looped there. Double loop here. And try not to twist up these bands too much as you double loop them. Like that. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my hook. I'm going to take a jelly orange, and I'm going to wrap it, creating 5 loops on my hook. 3, 4, 5. Then you're going to double loop the jelly orange and pull those 5 loops over it. Okay, grab the other end onto your hook, and we're going to wrap the 4 loops around this peg, so just like this. Okay, like so. Alright, let's do her nostrils. I'm going to be doing black nostrils, so I'm going to take a band and I'm going to wrap it around my hook, creating 4 loops. And I'm going to do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a jelly orange and double loop it. Pull both nostrils onto the jelly orange. And wrap the loops around this peg and this peg here. Spread the nostrils apart, and then I'm going to grab 2 of the 4 loops in between them and bring them over this peg there. Okay. Alright, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to double loop brown there. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. This I actually need my clear bands for, which I forgot to grab. Hold on, I have to grab 3 clear bands. You don't actually need clear, but I think they work better that way. Okay. So I'll explain to you why I'm using clear for here, because on this trial head that I did, I used brown, and you could see the brown right through here. So I figured that wasn't a good idea, so it's better to use clear, I think. So let's do that. So I'm going to double loop clear across there, another one across here. I recommend not doing orange either. Okay, so don't do orange across, because then you'll see orange on the burnt side of her face and it's going to look weird. She's going to have like a awkward orange stripe on the side. So clear is your best bet if you have it. Okay, now I'm going to do a double looped brown here, and another one there, and another one there. And I'm going to do my orange across there, across there. These are double looped, and across there. Okay. Alright, let's put her ears on. So on this side I'm going to make a brown ear, like a burnt one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a brown band, wrap it around my hook, creating 5 loops. Then I'm going to double loop a brown band onto my hook and pull that band onto it. Okay, now reclaim the end onto your hook like that. Grab a pink band, whatever color you want the inside of the ear to be. Wrap around, creating 5 loops on the hook. Then take 3 brown, pull that pink band onto the 3 brown, and then pull the brown tip onto there. Reclaim the loops, and we're going to do 1 more double looped brown, pull that on there, and there we have 1 ear. Now the ear is kind of bending back, so what you can do is you can pull that pink band down toward your hook, and then the tip same direction, so you have a nice straight ear. We're going to attach it with the pink side down. So the pink side is facing down right here. Okay. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do an orange ear on the other side. So same thing. Wrap around, creating 5 loops. Do a double looped orange. Pull that on, reclaim the loops. Grab a pink band. Wrap around, creating 5 loops. Then grab 3 orange. By the way, this is the jelly orange. Okay, then pull the tip on. Reclaim the loops, and then we're going to add 1 more double looped orange onto there. Right, pull the pink band down, And the tip up like that. Okay, attach so the pink is facing down, like so. Okay. Alrighty. Let's do the eyes now. Okay. For her blind eye, or the eye on the side that is burnt, I recommend you use either white or a milky white color. The solar bands are really good for that. Sorry about that. Forgot that was too late. All right. The solar bands are, the white solar bands are good for that. Or you just use regular white, but honestly, the milky white makes it look like she's blind in the eye, and it makes a really cool effect. So, all right. So we're gonna start with the eyelid. So on the burnt side, it's gonna be a brown eyelid. So wrap around a brown band, creating 5 loops and another. Then you want to double loop one and pull those onto it. Okay, now we're going to take the 2 of the milky white bands. You're going to wrap each one around, creating, that wasn't what I wanted. Okay, wrap each one around, creating 4 loops. 2, 3, 4. Okay. And we're going to pretend this is a regular eye, so what I'm going to do is on this end, I'm going to pull. Why is that band all sparkly? I guess these are like glitter. Yeah. Oh well. Alright, we're going to pull this end all the way to the other side of the other band, and then the next loop too. So 2 loops go all the way to the other side, so it kind of gives like a roundish look at the top. You're going to grab the other loops around the hook, like that. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. And then I'm going to double loop a brown band, and I'm going to pull the eye onto that brown band in order. So pull everything over in order as best you can. And then we're going to place this eye. Let's see, we're going to put it around that peg, and then we're going to take the other loops in our hook and stretch it to here. Okay, so the 2 ends are attached to the 3rd peg here and the 5th peg here, not the 4th peg, the 5th peg. If you attach it to this one, she's going to have a dopey look instead of a fierce look. So you want to make sure that's stretched like that and not like that. Alright, now I'm going to make an eye for the other side, which is going to be the same but with orange bands instead. Because this is the normal side that has not been burnt. Alright, for this eye, I'm going to use a mango, which is kind of like a yellow. So you can use yellow, anything close to yellow is fine, or whatever color you want. If you're doing just a generic dragon, that's fine too. Alright, black for the pupil. So yellow and then black, each wrapped around 4 times, creating 4 loops. 2 loops of the yellow go onto the other side of the black, and then we will grab the 2 loops on the other side, like so. Then we're going to double loop an orange band, and we're going to pull the eye in order onto the band. Okay, and we're going to attach it to the opposite side. Make sure you're attaching these to the right side, so the good eye is on the orange side, the bad eye is on the brown side. Okay? Why does that not look right? Whatever. I feel like I have a sparkle band mixed up with the milky white in there, but whatever. Okay, so we're going to start looping, and as we go, we're going to attach a nose spike, and we're going to attach her horns right there as we go. Alright, so I'm going to dig down underneath the nose spike to grab top 2 double looped bands, then I'm going to dig under here to grab the next double looped bands. We're going to make a tiny little nose spike here. Alright, I'm going to do black. Wrap around, creating 5 loops, and then just double loop a single black. Pull that on there. Reclaim the loops, and then as we loop up this one, we'll just pull that on there. Alright, little nose spike. Alright, I'm going to loop all the way up the center. I'm going to be careful with this one. Try not to overstretch it. Okay. Alright, you know what I'm going to do here is I'm going to attach a tiny little neck spike, because this is kind of the beginnings of the neck, so I'm going to take a burgundy, which is like a more red-brown than the cocoa. Wrap around, creating 5 loops, and then I'm just going to double loop a single band onto there, pull that on, and then as I loop up, I'm going to just pull that onto the orange bands there. Okay, just like that. Alright, now we're going to go up the side. Actually, no, undo this one, sorry. Because we gotta attach the horn, so I'm just gonna re-bring the loops back over and tug down so they're at the bottom again. Alright, let's work up the other side to the same point. Okay, now we're gonna create her horns. She has pretty long horns. On the cover it looks like they're kind of reddish. Or I'm sorry, brownish, and then they meld into black, which I did do on the sample head. This is the sample head. So if you want to do that, start with black and then meld it into the burgundy. But I'm going to do them all black because I think that looks cooler. Looks more deadly. Alright, take a black band, wrap it around your hook, creating 5 loops. Then we're going to double loop 4 black in a row. So here's 1, pull that on. Here's 2, pull that on, here's 3, pull that on, here's 4, okay, now I'm going to take 3 black, 3, those were not double looped, they were just 3 black, 3 again, again, and again, alright, one more set of black, so here we go. Okay, now I'm going to take 3 jelly orange at the very end here, like so. Alright, now I'm going to re-loop this band, and as I loop it up, I'm going to pull that horn on. And then I'm going to dig down and loop up the last set there. Okay. Alright, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So here we go. So we're going to make the same horn we just did, so the capped band followed by 4 double looped bands. 1, 2, 3, 4, followed by 3 black, or 6 sets of 3, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then now I need 3 of the jelly orange. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, this is the brown because this is the burnt side of her face, so we're gonna do 3 brown. So 3 cocoa. Okay, and then as we're going to dig down, we're gonna pull this on. Alright, and then we're gonna loop up the final set here. Roar! Okay, now we're going to take any color band. This doesn't matter right now what color you use because we'll take them off later. And we're just going to tie some slip knots at these 3 ends so the project doesn't come apart when we pull it off. And to take this off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm just going to gently lift up. Push from the bottom to get that nose up. Okay, there's her one eye, there's her other eye. Roar! That is cool. Now you can always form these horns into the shape you want, okay? Because all you gotta do is you gotta just grab your hook, because they kind of like, oops, kind of like bend back and then up. So what you can do is you grab your hook into the first set of black and tug back. Okay, then put your hook into like the 4th set of black and bend the other way. And then that's about right, I think. So first go into the 1st set of black, tug it backward, turn it upside down, go into the 4th set, and tug it the opposite way. Okay, so now her horns are kind of bent the way they are on the book cover, or the back cover of the book. Alright, so there is her face. If your eyes look like that, that's because you just got to push them up like that. Okay, so you can see them on the side, and the burnt side of the face looks awesome and really fierce. Okay, so there is the face of Queen Scarlet. Alright, we're going to work more on the neck now. Okay, she has a pretty long neck, so I'm going to do a full loom for her neck, I think. And then if it ends up being too long, we can always take some sets off. Right. So the center set is going to be the regular orange, just like I did on the head. So I'm just putting 2 bands on at a time here. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to go to the bottom. Okay, so now we're going to do the jelly. And we're going to go all the way down to the bottom. So same thing, this is 2 bands at a time. Okay. I'm going to take 2 of the jelly orange at a time for the first few sets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, now I'm going to double loop with the jelly orange. So 1 double looped for the rest. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, what we're going to do now is we're going to attach her head to here, these 3 pegs. So the 3 ends that we tied off, we're attaching to these 3 pegs. Make sure that you go through the loops of the body bands, not between them. So you should be able to take off that tying band and the loop should stay on your hook if you did it right. You're going to wrap those around that peg. Then let's go to the opposite side. So the brown bands, we're going to take off that tying band and we're going to wrap those loops around this peg. Then we're going to go to the center set, take off that tying band and wrap those loops around this peg. Alright, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my hook, starting on this side, I'm going to lift up these 2 orange, so the top 2 orange loops. These 2 and those 2. Okay, leave those on your hook, double loop an orange band and just place it across like so. Then we can replace all those loops back on in order. Okay, we're going to loop up the sides. So just loop up all the way up both sides. Don't loop up the center quite yet. You know, I'm not going to use this one. Take those 2 down and those 2 down because we're not going to use them. I was gonna, but then we can't put a horizontal one, it's just complicated. So just take those off the peg, let them rest at the bottom there because we're not going to use them. Alright, let's do this side. Alright, and now we're going to go up the center. As we go up, we're going to attach a little spike to each set. The same little red spike we attached there, we're going to do 1 on each set. 5, so it might take you a minute to make them, but I'm going to make them 1 at a time as I go here. So I make 1. As we loop up, we're going to pull that on. Alright, make another. Ooh, what did I do? I put the cap band on without adding the double looped band to that. Anyway, alright, let's try that again. There we go. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, again, we're going to take 3 bands of a random color and just tie off our ends, ignoring those 2 orange bands at the bottom because those aren't part of this. Alright, and then we can lift up from the bottom again. Alright, I want to make sure all our spikes are on the right side. Roar! Kind of pull them up a little bit, that looks cool. Alright, so there is her head and neck. Ooh, she looks pretty fierce, doesn't she? Alright, cool. Let's work on her legs. So far I have already made 2 legs, a front leg and a back leg. So in this video I'm going to show you how to make one of each. Alright, and then what you need to do is you need to go back and do the same thing, but make the opposite. So whatever I do for the legs on here, you're going to follow it, but then for the other leg you're going to swap it, so it's like a mirror image. Otherwise you'll have 2 left legs or 2 right legs and it's not going to be good, okay? Alright, anyway, let's start with the front legs. Okay, we're going to start with the calf muscle here. Okay. Go. So I'm going to use my opaque orange for part of this as well, just like I did with the other one. Okay, so we've got to change our loom to the rectangular configuration. And here we go. So 2 bands there, 2 bands there. 2 like that. Alright, take your jellies. 1 there, or 2 there, 2 there, 2 there. Alright. Take a jelly and wrap around here, creating 4 loops. Okay. Alright, we're going to take the opaque again there. 2, 3, and 2 more like that. Alright, take the jellies. 1, 2. Oops. And 4. Okay, I'm going to take the jelly band, double loop it across like so. 2. And here. We're not going to double loop it across this one though, because that one we're going to add the stripes to. Okay. Alright, so now we have to create a foot. Alright, so we're going to create the foot. So grab your claw color. For me that's going to be black. Wrap it around your hook, creating 5 loops. Double loop another black onto there and pull that on. So that is 1 claw. We're going to reclaim the loop like that. Now your toe color. So for me that is the jelly orange. Double loop one of those, pull that on there, and do it again. Okay, so that is the pointer finger. Let's do the next one. The next toe is exactly the same, but it's going to be one orange band longer. So we'll do 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, there is the middle finger. Okay, now we're going to do the ring finger the same size as the middle finger. 2, 3, 4, 5, double loop. One, 2, and 3. Push down. And we're going to do our pinky finger, which is going to be the same size as the pointer finger, so the same size as the first finger. It's a little tricky to fit them all on this hook, but it can be done. If you can't do it, you can always hold them on like a pencil or a holding hook if it gets too tricky for you. Okay, so there's our 4 toes at the top. So now I'm going to take 3 jelly orange and I'm going to pull all 4 toes in order onto the 3 jelly orange. Push that down on my hook, put my finger through the other loop like that. I'm going to take 3 jelly bands and wrap them, so 3 at a time, right here. 2 loops on your hook. And then loop the other end back over your hook, like that. Okay, now I'm going to take 3 more jelly bands here. What do you think? Do I add the... No, okay. 3 more jelly bands. Pull those 3 loops on, then that middle area, and then the 3 end back on. Grab the loops like that. Now we're going to create our thumb. Our thumb is going to be pretty much the same as the other ones, but it's going to be 1 orange band shorter than the pointer finger. So first we make the claw, and then we add 1 jelly orange double looped. Just 1. Okay. And now I'm taking 3 jelly orange, and I'm going to pull the thumb on, and then this on. Just like that. Alright, so that is 1 foot. We're going to wrap that foot around this peg. Now, 2 of the feet will look like this. The other 2 need to be opposite. All you have to do to make it opposite is after you're done making it, you can push the thumb through the set that's right below it to the other side, and you will have a foot facing the other direction. Okay, but for this leg, this first leg we're doing, we need it on this side. Okay, the side it was on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap these 6 loops around this peg here with the thumb facing down, so just like that. Okay. But we're not going to loop up that yet. We just attached it. We're not looping up yet because we want to loop this first. So go under the cap band, grabbing the jelly orange, then grab the opaque orange. Now we're going to take the burgundy. We're going to double loop a burgundy over these 2 pegs, and then we're going to loop up. And we're going to do that again there. Whoops. And we're going to loop up that. Okay. Take 2 bands of any color to tie off these ends. Doesn't matter what color because we will be taking them off eventually. I like to use my scrap bands for this. Like when I do trial runs, if I end up taking the thing apart and the bands are all a little stretched out, they're like perfect for the tying bands. Okay, so now we have a little forearm with some stripes. So we're going to flip it so the stripes are facing down, go through the cap band, all 4 loops of the cap band, and wrap that cap band around this peg. Just like that. Okay, and we're going to dig down and we're going to grab the 2 loops that are on top, the jelly ones, there, and then dig down a little more, and Okay, lift the muscle piece up onto those bands. It's like a bridge. Okay, we're going to go through the next set in line on the opaque side. So the opaque side, I'm going through the 4 loops from the side. See that? And that gets wrapped around this peg. Oops, all 4 loops. All 4. We're just going to have a really bulky leg if you only wrap the bottom 2 around. Okay. Loop up the next set, and then we want to wrap the other side around. So go through the orange bands on the opposite side. The 4 loops, wrap around the peg, loop up. We're going to do the next set as well. So the stripes are kind of in the way, but what you want to do is you want to tug on that muscle piece and grab the loops from above the stripe. So above the stripe. I mean, I guess you could do it below the stripe too, but you want it to be the same. Make sure you don't skip any. There. Okay, and then the final 2 sets are the tied off ends. Okay. So all we want to do is we want to go through the 4 loops there and wrap those around that peg and then loop up the final set. So at the very end, make sure the bands aren't going to twist up. Wrap the loops around and pull up. Okay. And then we can use any color to tie off our ends here. You might want to use a different color than you used for the muscle portion, though. Pull that off. Okay. I'm going to pull off these guys from the muscle piece, so only those 2 are on now. Okay. Alright, so there's the bottom part of the front leg. Now we got to do the top part of the front leg. She's going to be so awesome. I'm very excited. Okay. Alright, here we go. Opaque orange. Start with the muscle piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 more there. Alright, jelly orange. Grab a jelly orange and tie off right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, if this is your second front leg, make sure you do it opposite of what you see on the screen. Double looping jelly orange across the middle and this side. And we're going to add stripes to here as we loop the bands. Okay, so we're going to dig down over that guy. We can loop all the way up the end here. Okay, and I'm going to dig down and grab these 2, loop those up, and this guy, loop that up. Okay, we're going to attach a double looped stripe right here. So double loop a band. Across those 2, loop up 1 time in each set. 1, 1. Alright, do another stripe there. 1, 1. Another one here. 1, 1. And another one there. Tie off these ends with any color. Okay, that's the muscle piece. So we have so far this and this. Okay, now we're gonna do the back part. Okay, so again, starting with the opaque orange, I'm gonna go down 5 times here. Two at a time, bands 2 at a time. Alright, and then we're going to do 2 like this, so we have like an opening here. Okay, I'm going to take 2 jellies at a time, and I'm going to put them across like this. Okay, alright, here we go. So grab your bottom part of the front leg, and we're going to attach these 2 ends to these 2 pegs, but we have to take off the tying bands as we do it, okay? This is what will give her kind of like a makeshift elbow here. Oh, I missed a loop. Sometimes we miss loops, just very gently go back through them. Okay. Alright, once I attach those ends, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift the top 2 loops up from each set. 1, 2, 1, 2, because I need to attach, first of all, a double loop jelly orange across these 2. Oops. Across those 2, and then across here. If you don't put one here, you're going to have like a big hole in the arm, and it's going to look kind of weird. So, oh, come on! There to there. Okay. Alright, so there to there. So first there to there, then there to there. Alright, we're going to wrap the loops back over. Okay. And I'm going to loop up just this guy. So just this one here. The bottom, make sure you grab the right bands. Okay, here's where I'm going to attach my muscle piece. Okay, so you hold it like this, then you flip it. Okay, go through the cap band. Cap band will go around this peg here. Okay, loop up 1 time. Okay, what we're going to do here is we're going to open up this side set of the jelly orange that's on the muscle piece. So open up those 4 loops while the muscle's still upside down. Wrap it around that peg, and then we got to loop up the center. So this is a little tricky to find the bands. You got to kind of dig back and take your time to find them. Sometimes it helps to kind of turn the project to the side. Okay, I'm going to loop up to here. Don't loop all the way up, just loop up to there. Okay, and you've got to get the bottom 2 bands too. So we're digging down, grabbing the bottom 2, looping those. Okay, lift up the muscle. So it's like a bridge again. Okay. Go through the side loops of the opaque orange. Wrap them around that edge peg. Loop up. Go to the jelly orange side. Open up those 4 loops, wrap them around that peg. Loop up. Same thing on each side. These 4 wrap around the peg. Other side. Above the stripe. So push the stripe down, go above them. Just going to continue this pattern. Above the stripe, wrap around, up. Okay, we're going to attach the top 3 sets to these 3 pegs, but you know, to make it a little easier, I'm going to lift off a little bit off the bottom, not a lot, just some to loosen up the bands so they're not so tight. Alright, here we go. That's that wrap around and loop up. Center says stuck down there. Where are you? There you are. Sometimes it looks like it can get twisted, but okay. Take 3 bands of any color and tie off your ends. Okay, there is one front leg. Okay, I'm going to take off the lower tying bands because those we don't need, just the top 3. Alright, so I have my 2 front legs done. Okay, they're opposite, see? They're opposite. Okay, and now we're going to do the back legs. Okay. Alright, here we go. Alright, starting with my opaque orange bands. Again, if you're doing your second back leg, you should be doing a mirror image of what you see here. So this is opaque, this is jelly. Oops. Okay, taking a jelly band, we're going to tie a cap band there. It's wrapped around, creating 4 loops there. Take a jelly band double looped here. And one here. Alright. Oops. Yeah, okay. Again, back to the opaque here. Alright, take 2 jelly bands at a time for here and there, double loop there, and double loop there. Okay, we have to make another foot. Ugh. Okay. Alright, we gotta make the toes again. So, same way as we made the front feet. Cap band followed by double looped black. followed by your body color. Jelly orange twice. So 1, 2. Push that down. Do the next one, which is 1 band longer. Okay, another one that's the same. And then our pinky, which is the same as the pointer. She's got big legs. Alright, now take 3 bands, pull them all on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Push down on your hook, finger through the loop, grab 3 bands, wrap them around, creating 2 loops on the hook. Reclaim the loops on the other side. Grab 3 more bands and pull them all through. Make our thumb. And we'll take 3. There we go. Okay, perfect. So if this is your first back leg, this is perfect. If it's your second, you want to make sure you push the thumb through to the other side. All right, here we go. We're going to wrap that around this peg so the thumb is facing down. Okay. All right, let's loop up this guy. So first we're going to loop up the diagonal and then this guy, and then we're going to attach a double looped burgundy here. Stripe. Loop up once, loop up. I guess we could loop all the way up this guy. Okay. And then we want to loop up this guy. Alright, we gotta attach another double looped burgundy here. 1, 2, and 1 more here. Okay, we're going to tie off these 2 ends. And gently take this off. Alright, so we have 3 stripes on that guy. Okay. Down here, we're going to hold that, but flip it this way. Okay, so flip it like that, go through the cap band, and wrap the cap band around the same peg that the foot is on, and we've got to dig all the way down, and find those 2 diagonals, jelly bands, and then these 2. I lift the muscle up onto those bands like a bridge. Through the 4 loops of the opaque, that's next in line. wrap around that peg and loop up one time. Alright, we're going to go through the jelly bands and wrap around this peg. Now here we're going to dig down, loop up the diagonal, and then this guy 1, 2, 3 times. Okay, and we're going to continue to attach the edges like we did with the front leg. So, again, opening up the loops. Here, go above the stripe. Wrap around, up. Around, loop up. Above the stripe. Wrap around, and loop up. Okay. I'm going to lift up a little off of this guy, not a lot, because I need a little bit more room to attach here. Okay, we gotta attach the ends. So first, I'm gonna attach this end with the stripe around here, make sure it's not twisted, and loop up that final set. This guy, this is gonna be tricky because there are 8 loops here instead of 4 like there usually are. So the way I usually do this is I just go a set at a time. So, going through the top set, then the next 2, then the next one, kind of just follow it through. A little bit at a time. Okay. Alright, once they're all around, you can kind of tell by if you pull on it, you should be able to kind of see or follow the band through. Wrap that around, and then dig all the way down and loop up these 2 guys. Alright. We're going to tie off this set here and this set here. Okay. Here's the bottom part of the back leg. We just got to do the top part. Yay! I can take off the tying bands here. Alright, whew. Part 1 done. Now we gotta do the top part. Okay. Now, I just realized I forgot to attach the spike in the back. But you could always attach that separately. Okay. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. I'll show you how to do it. So, let's take a black band, wrap it around, creating 5 loops, then double loop a black, pull that on, double loop another black, pull that on, and then what we want to do is we want to kind of go where it juts out the furthest at the back. We're going to go there. So the horizontals that are right there. Okay. So lift off the 2 ends here. Go through those horizontals. Then reclaim those 2 loops back on. Okay, that way it'll be centered. And then, let's see how it looks if we take a black band and bring it through all those loops. Oops, what happened there? And then we can wrap the band over the claw, let's see. Just like that. Alright, yeah, so now she has the claw on the back sticking out. Okay, so that is how you can do that. Okay. Alright, let's do the top part of the back leg now. One, two, three, four. One. There's two, 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 and two going that way. Okay, let's do the jelly. Alright, we're going to cap off here, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to double loop the jelly bands across here. Okay, let's start to loop this guy. We can loop all the way up this set. Yeah, so we're going to loop up this guy and this guy. Alright, then we're going to double loop the burgundy across there. Loop up once on each one. Do another one here. Alright, tie off these ends. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. Okay, so take the opaque orange. 3, 4, 5, like that. Right, now take the jelly orange. And we're going to put two across like that as well. Okay, we're just going to take two at a time of the jelly orange across. We're not going to put it here yet. Okay, because what we have to do, we have to attach the back part of the leg to here. Okay, so go through the loops of the opaque and pull off that band and wrap the loops around. Then we want to go through these two loops. Wrap around here And then we want to lift off the top 2 loops of each set. Leave them on your hook. We're going to take 2 jelly orange across here, and then again we want to double loop 1 from here to here so that there's not an awkward hole there later. Replace the loops back on like that. Okay. Now you want to take the top part of the leg, hold it like this, then flip it. Go through the capped band. Wrap the cap part right around this peg, the same peg that we wrapped the opaque part of the bottom on. You know, the bottom corner one. Okay. Dig down and we want to loop over the jelly bands. We're not looping up the horizontal band. We just looped over, okay? With this still facing down like this, we're going to go through the 4 loops from the top and wrap them around this peg. Okay, so I didn't lift that leg up yet, or that muscle up. Okay, here I'm going to dig down and loop up. Ooh, I grabbed the wrong band there. Gotta love it when that happens, right? Alright, we gotta make sure we grab the right 2 bands. There we go. Alright, this guy I can loop up the center to there and stop. Then we want to dig down and loop up this diagonal. Alright, now lift the muscle up. Uh-oh, something did not attach. What is that? No, I can't worry about it now though. Okay. Lift up the muscle. Okay. And go through the 4 loops of the opaque on the side. Okay, so we're just doing muscle attachment. Yeah, I missed a band looping there, but okay. Okay, here we can dig all the way down to find those 2 orange bands. Okay, then do the next one. Up. Then go above the stripe. Do the 4 loops above the stripe. Can lift a little bit off the bottom here. Not too much though, because we don't want it to fall apart. Just a little bit. Okay. Continue to attach the 2 sides. A tiny bit more, not too much. And then we're going to attach the 3 ends to these 3 pegs. Tie off your 3 ends. Oh, this one we didn't loop up. Actually, loop up the center guy. And there is a back leg for you. Okay. Take off the 3 tying bands here that you don't need anymore. 2 lower ones. 3. Okay. So go back and make your second back leg. Okay. So you have your 4 legs and your head. Okay. So, after you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to make her wings, okay? So how you're going to make her wings is you're going to look in the description of the video and it's going to give you a link to Peril's wing tutorial, okay? Peril is also a SkyWing. All you're going to do is you're going to change the colors. So what I did was I used black for the claws. I used burgundy for the veins of the wing and the arm of the wing, and I just faded it to orange at the end, which you don't have to do. You could do it all burgundy, that's fine. And then for the main part of the wing, I used lava red, which is like a dual, or Persian, I think. Okay, but you could use regular red for that. I think that might even be better than using the lava red, just because the lava red kind of blends in with the orange. Okay. And there we go. So you want to make 2 of those wings. Okay. If you have 2 looms. If you only have 1 loom, you're going to follow the other link to Clay's wing tutorial, and you're going to follow that video with 1 loom. The wings are going to be a little smaller, but it's better than nothing. So, and also notice that there's not going to be as many ends, okay, with the smaller wings. Right, so if you have 1 loom, follow Clay's. If you have 2 looms, follow Peril's, and then go to part 2 of this tutorial, and we will continue with Scarlett's body. Okay, hope you're enjoying it so far. See you soon, guys.